Coming up on today's show, we are creating in Cleveland some of the talent that you will find in Northeast Ohio, and we're showcasing places where you can get your hands dirty and have some fun with art. Are you ready to create? New Day Cleveland starts right now. Welcome to this artistic edition of New Day Cleveland. I'm Natalie Herbeck. So good to have you with us this hour. We decided we needed to be right here in Chardon to kick things off. We are at Geauga Paints, a place where we can really get our hands dirty. And I have Andy with me, the owner here, and we are going to mold some clay today.
We are. We're going to be throwing some clay on a
Throwing clay.
Yes, we throw the clay on
Okay.
a potter's wheel. So I'm going to be teaching you how to create a bowl, and using the spinning formation motion that we can go ahead and then create something out of that.
I've never done something like this before. I'm very excited about it.
I'm glad.
Do you think it'll be possible for me to ask you questions while I'm doing it?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay,
absolutely.
then let's get to it.
Okay.
You can what's the first steps?
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get your sponge, and you're
Okay.
going to just squeeze that onto there.
Okay, and you tell me when to
Yep,
stop?
and then just get your hands kind of wet.
Is that enough squeezing on there?
That's a lot of squeezing. Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
That's good. That's a perfect
I was
amount.
like, did I do too much?
No, you did fine.
Okay, hands are wet.
Your hands are wet. Okay, so then you have your pedal over here. Okay, it's not like driving a car. So we're gonna get you at a nice speed, and then you don't have to have your foot on there. You can take your foot off.
Okay.
Okay. So go ahead and turn that on. So then you're gonna take your hands, and we wet it so that way it doesn't cause friction between the hands and the clay.
Okay.
And you're gonna put your hands like this. Okay. And you're just gonna get yourself used to that feeling. It's kind of slimy and
It is slimy.
It is kind of slimy.
But it feels kind of good.
It does, doesn't it? Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I already went ahead and centered that for you.
Thank
So
you.
You're welcome, because that's a really hard part. So you are going to be golden here.
Okay.
Okay, and then you're just going to take your thumb and you're going to put it here in the center
And push down.
and add a little pressure. So you can
Okay.
just, and add some pressure right there. And then have your thumb go straight up and down.
Oh, push it up and down this way.
Yep, like that. And it's going to suck your thumb right
Yep,
down
it
in there.
sucked it right in.
It
Okay.
does. It does. It sucks it right in. All right, and then take your thumb out.
That is wild.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
So I just want to see how deep
How
you
deep
are.
can I go? Am I
You
okay?
did great.
Okay.
No, you did really good. All right. Okay, so then we have to make our opening a little bit wider.
Okay.
So you're going to take your two thumbs and you're going to put it in the inside like this,
Like this?
and then you're just going to pull that straight towards your body
Okay.
and go all the way down to the bottom.
Okay.
There you are. Good job.
I started picking up the pace when I did that. I don't know.
You're like, oh,
Is this a good speed that I'm
that's
going
that's
at?
a perfect speed. Yeah, you're doing great.
Therapeutic. I
It
can see
is,
how this would
right?
be. Do you use it a lot for
yeah.
therapy?
Yes, I really do. This is my go-to. When I've had a bad day, I just come in and I make a lot of pots. So now you're going to put this hand on the inside
Okay.
and this hand's on the outside, and think of your fingertips as magnets.
Okay.
Okay, and the wall
This way or
so
up
like
and down?
Up and down.
Okay.
Okay, and then if you can maybe just kind of
Lean into
bring
it
your
more?
butt- Yep. And now you're going to start at the bottom and then pull yourself up to the top, and just real slow.
Oh, maybe I went too fast.
That's okay. Yeah, because
Is it moving at all?
Yep, it's moving.
Okay.
So any quick movements will take the clay and
wait,
have
what
it
am I
go
doing?
over here. That's all right.
I'm trying to go away from my body.
It's a natural instinct. So you're going to go this way and then just pull it straight up.
We're just missing Patrick Swayze.
We are. Patrick
That's it.
Swayze. We need Patrick Swayze to be part of our...
May he rest in peace, but it would be wonderful. If he was here, it would be complete.
It would be complete. It would be one of those things that we're like, oh my gosh, there's Patrick, right?
I'm sure he's very, he's approving of,
He's
of what's
approving of
going
what
on
we
here.
just did here. Him
Yes.
and Demi are like, okay, we did good.
We did good. Hey, and the really neat thing about this place is this is just one of the mediums that you use in order to teach people different classes. So we're going to stop back here again at Geauga Paints a little later on in the hour. But keep in mind too, which street are you on?
We're on 100 Water Street.
100 Water Street. There's this cute little door. You go down the steps to it, right along the street.
Yeah, right across from the Geauga Theater, and you do have to go down into the basement to come to our place.
But once you're here, it's so much fun.
It is a lot of fun.
So I have another place to explore right now. And again, I'll be back.
Okay, sounds good.
Totally Tangled Creations was born out of my love for Zentangle and doodling. and I married the two, and it's really fine, detailed drawings. You really can't tell with my designs where they start or where they stop. All the designs look like they're intermingled and tangled up together. I draw every single line on every single piece, freehand. No stencils, no transfers, it's all done freehand. I consider what I do functional art. The bowls and platters and everything that I use food safe sealer, so if people want to serve bread or crackers or anything that they want on them, they can definitely do that. That's what it's for. Have something pretty to use. Most of my inspiration comes from nature and patterns that I see when I first started doing this. Old buildings, grates in the streets, patterns that I see on people's clothes, the bottoms of shoes, the design, nature, taking a walk, seeing mushrooms grow. I have a design that I created just from a clump of mushrooms I saw growing on a stump. Something really small will take me 1.5 to 2 hours for the drawing part of it. But there's other steps that are involved. I paint all the pieces, and I may paint pieces one day, I may do yellow today, green tomorrow, and then I start to draw on the pieces from start to finish. It could take 3 days, depending on what step in the process I'm in. And then when I'm finished, I put a sealer, 3 or 4 coats of sealer on everything. Even though I use a permanent ink, I want that design to stay there for people for years and years and years. Totally Tangled 2 are all of my crocheted items, which were born out of COVID. I have to be busy. I have to be doing something. I work as an artist full time. So I started crocheting again, which is my first love. I've been crocheting for over 45 years, since I was 8 years old. And I just started creating little things, and I said, what am I gonna do with all this stuff? And I was like, oh, yarn is all tangled up when you crochet it together, so that's how Totally Tangled 2 was born. You will find crocheted stones that I've taken all shapes and sizes of stones and crocheted little doilies around them in various different designs and colors. And I have bowls and towels and exfoliators that are reusable, and little like coaster type things as well. I hope they will take away that art is for everyone. And literally that's how I approach my art. And when you look around, you'll see things that are at many different price points. You'll see things that are from a $3.50 card to a $5,000 gourd that I've created. And I am very passionate about putting art in the hands of anybody who wants it.
Totally Tangled Creations is located inside of Summit Art Space. Now, her hours of the showroom do vary seasonally. It's mostly because you will also find her out at shows. For a list of upcoming events, you can sign up for one of her classes as well by visiting the Totally Tangled website. Still ahead, Custom Creations, the local business that started when he was still in high school.
Tyler, we threatened to come down here into your basement showroom here in Loudonville, Ohio. Still in high school?
Yes, I am.
How much longer?
I think right around 30 days until we graduate. So
Did you tell me you're already in business? You got a business?
Yeah, they were pretty impressed by that.
Yeah, well, everybody was at New Day Cleveland too. Like I heard you got a bunch of calls right after you're on the show.
Yeah, we did.
So here's the beautiful stuff he does. What do you call your work if people want to, if you describe it to somebody on the phone?
So it's a lot of different stuff. It's kind of hard to just describe one specific piece. We do a little bit of everything.
You laminate wood?
So yeah, there are a lot of glue ups. So they're all separate pieces glued up into the same piece, and then we'll cut it out how we want it to be.
Okay, so how did you figure this out? Like, look at this. We got this big piece here. Is this one piece of wood, 10 pieces of wood? What is that?
No, so every piece you see in there is a different piece. So I think those ones roughly take 21 pieces to make one of those.
Okay. Hey, so if I want to buy this stuff, I go to Facebook, I go to your website?
You can go on our website, that's how you can buy stuff, and then on our Facebook you will see where we're going to be at a show, stuff like that.
Okay, so I want to buy some of this stuff, but I want to see how you make it too. Can you show me how you do it?
Yep, we can definitely do that.
Let's do it. Okay, so you got all these little pieces all cut up here. So what's this you're putting on them now?
So we're putting a product called Type Bond 3 on it. It's a wood glue that is waterproof. Most wood glue that you can get at the store is water soluble. This product is not.
Not good for when you're washing a cutting board.
Correct. So we're gluing one up right now, and then we'll clamp it.
So all these colors, so did you stain this one this color? And
nope, that is all natural that way. The wood comes out of Africa. So we'll slide all these up. We'll take our square.
So you don't get that in Loudonville?
Nope, we don't. It comes out of a big lumber company over by us, Kime Lumber. That's where we do a lot of our business as far as buying our lumber. So pick up on that, and it'll slide right in, and then twist the handle.
I'm going to work. Look at this, huh?
So we'll crank it tight, and then we'll let it sit for overnight.
Okay.
So yeah, that's...
Okay, so what's going on over here?
So this is after we get them out overnight.
Can we take it out?
Yep, so we'll turn it the opposite way we just did.
You know a lot for a high school kid.
Yeah, I try to.
Yeah.
We'll pick it up, pull it out.
Okay.
And then that one's done.
Okay.
And then we'll take it, we'll run it through the planer.
And then it looks like this.
Yep, and then it's flattened out. So then we'll take and we'll cut all of our edges straight. So once those are straight, we can go into our layout process.
Can I put like a design in it too if I wanted?
You can do whatever.
And then how do you fill up the design if you cut a design in it?
So we do a 2-part epoxy that we pour in. And we can do it whatever color, whatever shape that you want.
So when you put that epoxy in, it's all globey on the top, so then what do you plane it off again?
We'll plane it off or we'll sand it off. Either way, it doesn't really matter. Once we get that in, we'll lay them out. So this is a handle laid out. So on the crosses here, you'll drill on each of those, and then we'll cut a straight line in the middle of those, and that's how we get the handles on there.
So this is the handle.
Yep.
So what's good about this is you can use this on the counter. It's all done. You take it over the sink. It's waterproof.
Yep.
Clean it off, and it's ready to go.
Yep. So
where did you get the idea for this? You got all this stuff going here?
We'll see stuff at stores and stuff along like that, as well as we'll just look at what people have, what people like to buy, and we'll go off that.
Yeah, so what's popular is what you sell. So this is how they see it on your website or
Correct.
on Facebook.
Yep, they'll see pictures of that kind of stuff.
And then you'll show up some shows.
Yep, we set up all over the place.
Why is this one got this kind of different kind of edge? So what's this?
So that's how the tree naturally grows. It grows round. So once it's round, you'll get those sides the way they are. And that's how we do those.
Almost like a natural edge.
Yep.
And this is sort of blonde, and it's beautiful, and you've got all kinds of great wood from all over the world.
Yep.
Tyler's Custom Woodworking. We're in Loudonville, and I love it. It's great stuff.
It is.
We've got to get you a girlfriend.
No.
Whether it's crafting with wood or learning another hands-on skill, there are a variety of projects that you can sign up for at Creative Cabana.
Creative Cabana is a specialty craft store, and we also teach classes at night and on the weekends to kind of help familiarize people with the items that we sell and also to get them into crafts. We do have over 105 different glitter types here. We have several different colors, shapes, textures of those glitters. We also sell blanks for crafting items like t-shirts. We have heat transfer vinyl. We also have tumbler blanks, which can help people create wonderful craft items. We not only sell the blanks, so if somebody wants to get started on a at-home project or even start a small business on their own, but we also teach people how to utilize the items here in our workshops. Usually our workshops are Monday through Friday. They start at 7 o'clock and end at 9 p.m. And then we do have 2 slots on Saturdays and sometimes on Sundays 1 to 3, and then 5 to 7. We have table knit blanket workshops, 3D wood art wreaths, tumbler making, tie-dye t-shirts, pretty much anything you can think of, we do it. My business partner is Latina, and we do offer our classes in Spanish as well. So we wanted to be able to provide that to the community because there's not very many places out there that do it. So that's something we're very proud of. Our biggest objective when we're having classes is to be able to provide people with the tools and the techniques that it would take to create anything that they can imagine with the stuff that we sell in our store. The timber classes is probably one of our #1 classes, and also our 3D wood art. We use a laser cutter to create the 3D wood art, and people like to come together and basically just utilize all of the tools that we have here, like acrylic paints, mica, powders, glitter, and create these wonderful and beautiful pieces. The biggest draw that people have when they come in is definitely our glitter. We sourced our glitter for a very long time. I would say about a year we looked for glitter. And what's special about our glitter is that it is a high quality glitter. It's safe to use in cosmetics or in nail art or in crafting, but it's also at a really good price point. So with our glitter, not only are you getting those specialty projects that you're going to be able to use it with, but you're also getting a wide variety of different colors, shapes, and sizes. We have a unique thing here called the Glitter Cantina, and what that is basically a place where they're able to select several different types of glitter and create their own custom mix. So it's almost like going and getting a shot at the bar, but you're getting a shot of glitter. We ask you to pick about 4 or 5 different colors that you like, and we'll take them and we will measure them out by weight, and we let you put it in a little shot glass, and then you pour it in the mixer, and then you get to mix it, and then we provide you with your finished product. And Creative Cabana is definitely a place where we are all-inclusive. We're very supportive. We want people to be able to craft and be themselves. We're definitely looking to support the community. We do have vendors that are local artists and home crafters that we do support by providing them a safe space to sell their products to the community, teach to the community, and we would love to have anybody here that would love to learn, whether it's a hobby or something they're just starting out at, or if they wanted to grow their business, we want to support that.
Creative Cabana is located on Broadview Road in Parma. You can view upcoming classes online. Up next, a hidden gem. The local shop is turning rocks into jewelry. Welcome back. So today we are all about creativity, and this next stop is fairly new in Northeast Ohio. The owner has changed his career. He did so back in 2021, and he's now sharing his new passion with you. This is the Hidden Pocket.
A Hidden Pocket is a place for hand-dug gems, all types of crystals, jewelry, organic herbs and teas. It's just a fun place to come get some crystals. I just got into crystals a little bit, and then I was buying a lot of them, so I said, hey, where can I dig them up at? So I got online, did a little bit of networking, found Colorado was a good place to dig them up. So did some networking, found some cool people. They took me out digging one time, fell in love. Then they helped me find some land that wasn't owned or claimed, so I went and had a claim on it. And now I have mineral rights on 20 acres up in Colorado that I go dig on. In Colorado, we get amazonite, smoky quartz, and fluorite. That's 3 main minerals of mine. You also get crystal quartz too. So basically what I do is I buy big rough rocks like this. So I get it and I find the best way to orient it to get the best picture out of it by slicing it. So what I do is I take it and I cut it, and then once I cut it, then I cut it into slabs. So I cut it into slabs like this. And when I cut it into slabs like this, you can see nice pictures. And this is how I do my custom pendant jewelries. Is I take these and I take my stencil and I take it up and I just find the best picture in here. And then I'll make an outline of that. And then once I do that, then I take it and I polish it. And when I polish them, they come out like this. I can wire wrap them, I can set them as earrings, pendants, rings. I can pretty much do anything. I can cut down and polish pretty much anything. So crystals aren't the extent of it. I can do pretty much anything with jewelry. My store is kind of organized chaos in here, so you got to try to find stuff in here. So every time you come in, you're going to find something new. And I'm always getting new stuff. People are really getting into the spheres and towers to store up for display pieces and to put in the house. They look really cool. I have about 6 vendors in here right now that are doing the jewelry with me, the wire wrapping only. I don't have anyone that does rings. I do all that stuff myself, rings and earrings and pendants and stuff like that. But they'll help me wire wrap. So they buy the stones off me. They come in, they'll take the slabs, they'll take their own design, and I cut that out and I polish it. They wrap it, and I let them sell it in the shop. I have a woodworking vendor in here as well too. So they do all kinds of woodworking stuff. Geauga Valley Woodworking, they're in here as well. So I like to work with local artists. I have paintings in here. I have other metal smithing, metal art in here as well. So I'm just all about local artists, small business people that hand create and hand make stuff. It's good to see people when they actually see my work and they appreciate it, and then when they come back into the shop and they're wearing it, that's what's even cooler. Or if I see them outside somewhere and they bump in and they're wearing my stuff, it's just cool to know that what they're wearing is mine, or something I created, and nobody else has one like it. You can have stuff similar, but everything I make is one of a kind because every crystal is different. So I mean, I try to do the unique stuff, so you can't really get it anywhere else. So it's that's what I'm kind of banking on. And everything I make, I put all my good intentions in, I put all my love in it. So everything I make in here has made with love tag on it. So that's kind of my thing. I just try to have people have good attention. So every time they're wearing my thing, they look down at it like, hey, he's got good intentions in there. Spreading positivity. You're more than welcome to come in, hang out, have a conversation, good thought. It's just everyone that comes in is in a positive mindset when they come in. And maybe it's the crystals, maybe it's just the way I talk to people, but I'm just trying to find a place where people can come and find some cool stuff and maybe be happier.
The Hidden Pocket is located in Stowe. So if we've inspired you to get creative, here's an easy place for you to start. You can make personalized gifts with the help of Amherst Craft Vinyl.
Amherst Craft Vinyl is a craft store here in downtown Amherst, and we feature Caesar heat transfer vinyl, permanent vinyl. We're also an authorized dealer of the glitter chimp glitter. We carry blanks including Bella Canvas t-shirts, sublimation blanks, hats, quite a few different craft options here. I started because I have children and I was using them to personalize cups for baseball games, their bags for basketball, t-shirts for the 100th day of school. So it's a lot of personalization. They make great gifts. A lot of people do them for weddings and showers. A lot of anything you want to just add a personalized touch to. You can do different things, like this is a stencil vinyl, and I've made a few things around the store that I've used that for, including our tables. We made a big stencil, we laid them down on the rounds, we stained over it, peeled off the stencils, polyurethane. So it's more than just t-shirts and kids stuff. A lot of people like just the standard Caesar Easy Weed. It comes in quite a few colors, but I always like the holographics or something. We have sparkles and glitter and glow in the dark and ones that change color in UV. The heat transfer vinyl is what I'm wearing on the shirt. It uses heat to transfer the adhesive onto usually soft materials, but you can also do it on wood, and you can also use cups for that, but I prefer to use the sticker vinyl, which is permanent vinyl. You can just, again, put the names on. It's plastic cups that I have back there. Those are the two main types of vinyl. The glitter, chimp glitter, is a premium line of glitter that we carry. It's used for quite a few things. We carry it, I like these snow globe cups, so we put it in between the walls of the cups, but a lot of people use it to make epoxy cups, but it can use anywhere that you would use normal glitter. This is a cup that's able to be used with sublimation. So with sublimation, you take the print, you use a special printer with special ink, you heat it into the material so it doesn't come off. We carry quite a few sublimation blanks as well. That's very popular right now. Technically, you could use scissors and an iron, and you could cut out a shape and use a home iron to press it, but a lot of people use personal cutting machines. You can get a heat press, you can use smaller presses that are bigger irons, but have better temperature control and pressure. We are starting to do beginner classes. We've done t-shirt classes, we've done sublimation classes, but that's a new series for us. We're utilizing the Main Street Amherst building so we can have more people. But every month we at least do t-shirt classes here. and our classroom in the back. For our classes, this would be an example of a shirt that we'll be doing. We offer a simple class, which might just be one color, and pick out a t-shirt, pick out a piece of vinyl. We show you how to cut it, how to use the software, how to press it. But then we do more difficult classes on layering. This would be a more difficult class because there's a lot of different colors. I didn't know that I wanted to do this. My brother-in-law bought it for me for a Christmas gift, and I would never have considered myself very crafty per se. But it's very practical. I've had a lot of fun. It's good to use the other side of your brain every once in a while, and makes nice gifts, and it keeps you out of trouble.
Amherst Craft Vinyl is located on Park Avenue in Amherst. You can follow the shop on social media for information on their upcoming classes. And when we return, we are heading to Functini Land, home to more than 24 artists and makers. A mother-daughter duo is spreading their love of art in Ohio City. They're selling their work and representing others from around the state, and it's called Functini Land.
Functini Land is a collaboration between Joe and I, and we decided that after we stopped doing art shows that we really wanted to have a space where people could come in and enjoy local artwork. So we've got over 30 Ohio artists in this space, all mixed together. 75% is Northeast Ohio, 25% from around the state. Everything from functional to more 2D on the walls.
It's just a pleasure to be here. I came out of semi-retirement to do this. Beth and I trade off time in here, and it's just very enjoyable to me. We do home decor. We started out, actually Beth and I started out making wind chimes. She made wind chimes and I made fountains up terracotta pots. And we morphed to home decor.
I've never been able to really find one medium that I like best, and so I do work with photography, I work with wood burning, I do some home decor and glassware, and then also kitchen cabinet knobs and pulls. We also refinish furniture, so quite a bit of anything home decor related. I get inspired by angles, a lot of architecture too, and then spaces and places and people. I really absorb people's energies, so when I'm surrounded by people that have that artistic feel to them, or they just have that creativity within them, it really gives me the opportunity to kind of feed off that and get their inspirations through them.
You just have to take your time, and I tell people we have, our own brand and 30 other makers from all over Ohio, mostly Northeast Ohio. And so I tell them, take your time, browse. There's a lot of things to look at, and if you want to know anything, I'm here to help. I just want them to be happy, to look at things and laugh. They read the cards, they laugh at Chuck's prints, and they come in and they just go, oh, this story's great, it's got so many things in it, it's got something for everyone.
To me, it's kind of, and my mom, it's a dream come true. Really, we wanted to open a retail space since, it's been a long time since we've really wanted to have a home where we could really fill it with items that are just locally made and support those local artists, being able to purchase from the artists themselves and give them those funds immediately when placing orders with them and helping them to pay their bills. And then for us, to quit my full-time job and be able to sustain a living through having the store and being here full-time is really a beautiful, beautiful thing.
Functini Land is in the heart of Ohio City. It is part of the hangars that make up Ohio City Goods. Really cool spot if you guys haven't checked that out yet. Okay, I told you I would be back here at Geauga Paints right on Water Street. Now, Andy is back with some really great artists who are clearly much more talented than me. What are they working on?
So today they are doing a little Mother's Day gift. So they're creating a little jewelry container. So they are using what we call as hand building. So this is rolling out the clay and then forming it into a bowl or into some type of form and then adding decoration to it.
So they create the bowls themselves first?
Yeah, so we use an actual bowl underneath, and then they drape the clay around it, and now they're able to go in and do some really cool decorations with this. Yes, yes.
So this would be something that for any holiday, any occasion.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we have, a lot of people are like, we've never done clay before, we don't know what we're doing, but you know what, I teach 2-year-olds all the way up to 102, and to come in here and just basically play with mud and make something out of mud, and to have that bonding experience, not only with your friends and family, but then also with the community.
And I love that the guys get involved as well.
I know, look how
it's not just for the ladies.
They do a really good job.
This is for the gentlemen too.
Yes, yes. Here, look at CJ's here.
Let's bring it up here.
Oh, wow.
Look, that's pretty amazing.
Isn't
Okay.
this really amazing?
Now your future girlfriends and wives will also be happy when they see this.
Right,
okay?
exactly. Keep it forever.
All right, I will. So let me. We'll put this. CJ, hold on. We're going to keep this for a second. This is one. You do painting classes.
Yes. So we do painting classes here also. So anything from acrylic painting to watercolor paints, and people will rent out the studio and just have a bunch of adults come together, or even birthday parties for kids. We do it all here.
And I saw that you also have a little room where people can buy some of the things that you've made.
Right.
Some of the other items like jewelry.
Right. Yes. So I wanted to bring in the community also, local artists to come and to sell their things here. So we have jewelry by Julianne Sweets that is for sale, and then also some of my things, but I do bring in featured artists so that way they can have a chance to sell their art to the public. And so we do a summer camp here at Geauga Paints, and that it's a week-long camp, and then we're also doing a clay camp, which is new this year. So that's a 2-week program for 2-year-olds to 102. So they can just come in any age and for 2 weeks get to play with clay.
I love it. So they can find out, I'm sure, all that information on your website.
Yes, at geaugapaints.com.
And again, right on Water Street, go down the little steps here. You will find this little oasis, this little haven where you can put your worries out there and just enjoy yourself.
Yes, yes.
Thank you so much.
Oh,
I guess I have to give this back. I can't claim it as my own and take it to somebody. Up next, a creative space for the entire community that is centered around fiber arts. If you're looking to make some new friends or learn a new skill, we have the perfect place for you to visit. This is Longtail Knits.
Longtail Knits is a local yarn shop. We're not your ordinary yarn shop. That's my tag, because we do more than just knit and crochet. It's a fiber arts store because we do spinning, weaving, needle felting, tapestries, macrame, all kinds of stuff. You are going to find yarn. You're going to find lots of yarn. You're going to find commercial yarns. You're going to find hand-dyed yarns by our local indie dyer. You're going to find needle felting kits, spinning wheels, looms for weaving. You're going to find all the materials that supports anything and everything that we teach in here. If you like to macrame, we've got a cart full of cording to support your craft. If you come in with an old pattern and that yarn is discontinued, I bet there's something in this store that's going to help you. And of course, we have needles and crochet hooks and all the notions and doodads that you need to do the job.
I am getting ready to turn a bat into yarn.
We teach beginner spinning. With that, we support it with all the fibers that you need. We actually do advanced techniques to advance your crafts so that you can learn more about what it takes to spin yarns and fibers for whatever project you're going to be making. Rigid huddle weaving, same thing. I will teach you the basics. In 5 hours, you will go from beginning to end. You'll have a scarf. I also offer advanced workshops to teach you other techniques so that you can learn how to do some other things. You want to make a blanket? Let's do it. You want to do table runners? Absolutely. So sky's the limit. Needle felting, the kits, I teach the basics, and then after that, we offer advanced classes. So it's a little bit of everything that we do here. We don't just go, here you go, now you're on your own. No, we support you. If you know how to do the basics, you can make anything you want. And people don't believe it, but after a while, they're like, hey, I'm doing this. And I have to tell people, you are no longer a beginner. You're an intermediate knitter because now you're making a sweater. It is that camaraderie. It's the socialization that we have. I have 6 open groups throughout the week. So I have a Monday and Tuesday during the day, and then Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday in the evening. These people have bonded, okay? They know they look forward to their time when they come in and they can catch up with the people. Each open group has a different personality. If you want loud and rambunctious and they're going to be laughing from the time they walk through the door, it's that Monday group that you want to be here for. Tuesday and Friday evenings, they're a little more quiet. Same thing with the Tuesday afternoon. And then it's just whatever. I tell people, come to all of them, find the one that works for you. If you're a first-time person through the door, yep, you're a stranger. But once we know your name and we say hi, you're a part of the family.
Longtail Knits is located in Northfield, and you can find the long list of classes offered on her website. Now here's another one-of-a-kind item, hand-forged knives that work wonders in the kitchen. This is J. Lee's Knives.
I'm just a one-man knife shop. I make mostly kitchen knives, small everyday carry knives, those types of things. Every once in a while I'll forge a hammer or a hatchet and tools and stuff like that. But mostly just a small one-man custom order knife shop. In college, I worked in a lot of kitchens as a line cook, and a lot of the knives that I was using in the kitchens, they were always dull. And I've also always kind of collected knives, and I thought it would be cool to make one, and it just kind of snowballed. I made one, and people were like giving me money, and I was like, oh, okay, I don't really know what I'm doing yet, but cool. I mostly use carbon steels. One, they're easier to forge. They also take a nice fine edge, which I personally, I don't care about rust, that kind of stuff, that's easy to manage, but it'll take a nice fine edge. It's also easier for chefs to sharpen a lot of the time. And then I like wood. As a musician, I've always kind of gravitated towards handmade bass guitars that were made out of exotic wood materials. I always found them really pretty, and I figured I would incorporate that into the handles of the knives, and people seem to like it. I'll start with like a raw chunk of steel like this, something along those lines, and I'll forge it to shape with a hammer or my press, and after that I do a little bit of grinding to make sure the profile is how I like it, and then I heat treat it, which is hardening the knife and making it usable. And then after that it's a lot of grinding, attaching a handle and sculpting a piece of wood into a nice comfortable handle for you to hold, and then finally I sharpen it, and it's usually pretty much ready to go after that. The most popular knife I make is like a chef knife, and I've got varieties of that. So like I'll do one that's called like a hunter chef knife. I'm kind of known for like a forged finish, and the hunter chef has kind of like more of like a hunter knife profile to it. I make santokus quite a bit, which are like a Japanese style chef knife. And then once again, I make little integral bolster, which is where the handle is part of the blade that's all forged from the same piece of steel. Carry knives quite a bit. A lot of customers compliment me on how well the knife cuts, for one. I mean, that's always important. That first time they cut a tomato or something like that and it doesn't like smash it is a great feeling. And a lot of people really love the way the handles feel. I kind of make my handles to be very ergonomic and to put you into a pinch grip, which is what a lot of chefs like to use. They actually like hold up onto the spine of the knife, and my knives are designed to do that very comfortably. If you take care of them, they will outlast you and maybe your kids and hopefully their kids. But it's all a matter of taking care of them. I've had some customers send them to me, oh, I left this in the sink overnight and now it needs some tuning up, and I can fix that. I think they have more meaning to them more than anything. It's the handmade touch, it's the attention to detail. Sometimes the customers like to pick out the handle materials, sometimes they like to let me pick out the handle materials. I think it's just the overall aesthetic and feel of it. I can make any knife cut well. These cut, I think, exceptionally well, but it's just years of trial and error and seeing what works and what doesn't. It's the freedom that it allows me. I'm a dad, I got 2 little boys, and so I'm able to make my own schedule. I work from home. I can go and take my son to cross-country practice. If I need to pick them up because they need to go to the doctor or something, I can do that. So it's the freedom that it allows me, but it also, it's creative. I get to work with my hands and make things that hopefully people will enjoy for a lifetime and pass down to their kids.
You can visit Jay Leaves Knives online or on Instagram to see what's currently available. And that's also where you can place those custom orders. Still ahead, what's old is new again, the local artist with an antique flair. Step back in time with vintage signs made in Ashtabula. He's basically recreating the past, one brushstroke at a time. It's called Signs of the Time.
Signs of the Time is a hobby I have where I make and sell signs. Typically they're like historical looking signs, they're distressed. Most people immediately think that it's an old antique, and they're intrigued that I have all of these old antique signs I've gathered together in one giant collection. And then I get to explain to them how I've actually made it myself, and so usually people are pretty amazed and shocked. It starts with just finding some old pallets that people are throwing away, and I get the pallets, I take them apart, find pieces of wood that are really unique and have a lot of character, and then I build a sign with them, paint the sign, and then I distress it in different ways to make it look like it's 100 years old. And typically they're painted with something that's like from the past, like a sign from an old business. And then I look at it for a while, and then I hang it up at the place we sell signs at, Fat Sally's, and hopefully someone else looks at it, loves it, and wants to take it home. A lot of the wood has a lot of character to start with, but I bring that out by sanding back a lot of the paint I put on, and some of it is just old-fashioned beating up the wood the way it would have gotten tossed around for 100 years. Hitting it with a hammer, pounding nails into it, dragging it around in the driveway. From there, I have a couple secret steps I use to really add a little extra character to it, and then I usually finish it off with some stain to darken it up, and then it's good to go. Most of the signs have a historical aspect to them. So I find these old hand-painted signs in pictures, and I try to reproduce them, or use the ideas from those signs to create my own. People gravitate towards the signs that either they remember something like that from their childhood, or that has the name of like their hometown on it, signs from where they grew up, businesses they remember going to with their parents or their grandparents, or businesses that their family members used to own 100 years ago. People really like seeing stuff like that. A lot of the signs I make are signs that are gone forever, and nobody's really making a lot of these signs anymore. The old signs were extensions of the artist who made them a lot of times. The artist had their own style, their own way of writing the letters and drawing the letters, and just the colors are so rich from these old signs. And so I think a lot of times when people see the signs, it reminds them of older days. And I think everybody looks at the older days very idealistically, and it makes people happy to think about old days and to see like the old things from the past. I liked art in high school, but I have no training whatsoever, and so I pretty much just self-taught through a lot of mistakes and going online and watching videos of other people doing it, and then I've kind of developed my own style and my own the techniques to do it. As a hobby, I really enjoy being able to come out in the garage and just work on the signs in peace without having to worry about the pressures of the world. And I like to reproduce them and make something that I think is visually appealing. It's a way to bring something from the past to life in your own house. To see it, and when you walk by, you'd see something that you don't see anymore when you're driving around or when you're walking down your main street. You see old run-down buildings, and this is a way of seeing something like capturing a moment from the past that's gone forever, and now you can own a piece of it.
The the best place to shop for signs of the time is at Fat Sally's Warehouse in Ashton, Beulah. So that wraps up our hour of creativity here in Northeast Ohio. We have that completed list of featured businesses and artists on our website. Just go to fox8.com, click on that New Day tab. And I want to thank fine folks here at Geauga Paints. You want to show your final works, guys? I told you I had some talented artists that work here. Sure do. Awesome job, guys. Thank you for having me in. It's been a pleasure, Andy. I'm Natalie Herbeck, and on behalf of David Moss, we will see you on the next New Day Cleveland.